Welcome back to the Wealth Stacker Show. Today I'm just gonna hang out with the community, answer questions. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. How's it been going, Cecilia? Thank you for the tip today, actually, of ChatGPT.
Really?
I ran that and it's been running really well. I haven't
Oh,
had problems
good.
yet. Claude has eliminated the ability for you to use Claude Code,
Hmm.
which is crazy, stupid. That's a dumb decision. But
Amazing. You
but
know,
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, I'm saying, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't actually try it, but I was talking to yeah, I checked it out on ChatGPT to see exactly what that means. So maybe you could explain to me how you made it work because from what I read, it's not necessarily using your $20 a month, ChatGPT subscription to run it because, or else like you're not paying for anything, right? You're just paying for your subscription and trying to get all these automations going. So
Well,
how is it exactly how
it
you
it hasn't. It's using
it
my
hasn't?
plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, I think I did see somebody say that if you use it pretty like heavily with the
Hmm.
$20 plan, it's gonna run out quick. Because basically, what you're subscribing to, and when you do ChatGPT on the website or the API credits, is a certain amount of token usage per month. So because you are paying monthly, they're giving you a little bit more than you would if you used the API. So what
Mm.
they're trying to do as a business is get residual revenue. So the way
Sure.
they're incentivizing that is by giving you a little bit more compute if you subscribe. So
Nice. So even if you do the $20 plan, like or versus 200, obviously they'll give you more, right?
they'll
If
give
it's
you more than if you try to spend $20 on the website, through the
Mhm.
OpenAI
Mhm.
credits. But still not that much. So it depends on what you're doing if you're gonna go a whole month with the $20. So that's where I don't know that yet.
Mhm.
I pay the 200. I did downgrade the Claude one today. I just think I'm gonna just lean heavily into Codex, see what the limit is,
Yeah. Hmm.
because to pay two subscription at that level, kind of crazy. That's a lot of
Sure.
money.
Yeah, no, sure, sure.
Unless I'm definitely gonna use it, because I'm watching, and for the past 3 months I've been going heavy. I know my team is using it, and we're still not even reaching the limit. So I'm
Hmm.
like, but again, we got two, so we're splitting that, right? So now I'm gonna see if we could just run it on one and see what happens. And if I have to go up on Claude, we will. But again, it's a bear market in the crypto space, so we gotta lower our cost.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a well, you guys know it's not. I'm kind of thinking about this business like it might be seasonal, right? Even though the craziest part is this is the best time to buy, it's just not when people buy. It's pretty insane. But it is what it is. We'll still keep trucking with the customers we have, but
Yeah.
we have to make sure that, a bear market could be a couple years. So we got to start lowering costs there. But what I've been learning with this is, though, how to think about it like an employee, and then how to think about it as a. So I created a CMO, and now what I'm doing is I'm trying to see how it can help me manage multiple ideas, because in my effort to diversify revenue and sources, I'm reloading mass ideation, which Jeff knows well. I was my agency many years ago. I used to have a creative agency where I would do video production and tech work. But now what I'm thinking is I'm gonna help business owners leverage technology, and leverage, it means stack, but it also means what we're doing here,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, if you can have, like I said, more profit, you're gonna have more money to invest, right? So I see it kind of as a
Hmm.
combined effort. So what I'm gonna do is, and anybody who's part of the community that has a Stack wallet, I'm gonna give you guys free access. I'm gonna make a class where I start teaching how to create these employees or agents, and we can like pick an employee, pick an agent, and I'll help in a group setting. I'll help people figure that out because I want to learn how to teach this in a group
Hmm.
setting. But yeah, basically my plan. Have you thought about it that way, Cecilia or Jeff? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have like I don't, I'm in the house cleaning, residential cleaning community, so industry, so I have not yet really gone to to because I also belong to a community of people that, cleaning owners. And I've been meaning to ask them, but I haven't because I just kind of been tinkering around with just the setup alone. Just these last 2 days. I mean, I was with my Claude
Uh-huh.
and my Telegram. It was offline, and it was crazy. So
It is a
the
it's
setup
difficult.
at the beginning is good. It's simple when everything works, but all of a sudden my Telegram stopped working. And then it's telling me I needed API keys. Okay, so I went to Kimi K2. Man, that website, forget it. You feel like
Yeah.
you go to Google Translate and it still puts it in freaking. And I have no idea how I was able to get a key, but I got a key. I'm like, what
Did
did I
you?
press? I don't know. I got a key. I put that key, I got that key and I put it on my open Claude. So I did all the configurations. But then it I guess because it was still running, my system was still running that, or I don't know. I think I still had some open like some open AI credits, didn't run out completely. So when it was switching to Kimi, I think it used up all of it. So it told me like, oh, now you
Oh
need
my
to
God.
put, to upgrade to put a credit card. So I was like, man, credit card on this freaking thing, like
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
exactly. Number one, thank God I didn't find it. But at this point I was like desperate because I'm like, dude, I need to get it back, right? But thank God I
Sure.
didn't find it. I didn't put anything. And so I was like, whatever. I just caved in. I paid for the API credits and I just, I was like, all right, I'm gonna reinstall it
But
back.
which one did you pay?
Oh, I only did the OpenAI.
OpenAI. Got it. Got it.
OpenAI, yeah. And then I put it back to my OpenClaw and it was freaking crazy. Like it wasn't accepting it, it was doing this, it was doing that. And mind you, I wasn't using Codex to fix it. I was using ChatGPT, which is hard, made me do
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. But in a
Yeah. I
way,
went.
look, I was frustrated, but in a way, I'm the person who likes to figure it out. And I was doing it, instead of having Codex do it for me. I was doing it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is how you do this. But man, I was so frustrated last night. I got on Codex today. Codex fixed it all for me. Everything's great now. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's sick. And you know what I noticed in Codex, and I don't know if this happened with you, but when I signed into Codex in my Mac Pro and I signed into Codex in my Mac Mini, the conversations didn't sync. It was just local device only.
Yeah, yeah, it
Did you
is.
notice
It's
that?
based on the yes. So
Okay.
what you can do, but I don't know how you would do it for this.
There is. I asked Codex how to kind of put it together, and
How
it
to
gave
sync
me a
them?
way that I could do it. But right now,
Nice.
I'm doing Tailscape, and I'm also doing just the sharing, so I could just do everything from there.
So that's awesome. See right there, even me, I was thinking old school. I was like, how would I do this? Instead of thinking, let me ask it to do it for me.
Exactly.
And that's really the unlock of
It
this
is.
new movement. Like if you don't think what do I have to do? You think what can it do? Like find its
Yeah,
limits first and then
exactly.
right? And I heard this you probably know with Alex, you watch the Alex content.
Mhm.
He says, reverse prompting.
Yes.
And that is a very good thing. If you haven't heard it, understood what
Mhm.
that means, it means ask for the final, the end goal, and let the AI figure it out. Instead of you thinking through the steps, again, this thing knows more, probably more
Exactly.
intelligent than most of us.
It just takes a little bit, because we're using, like, for example, when I started using Whisperflow, I was still typing for some reason on my phone. And I'm like, why? Or on my computer, because you're so used to it
Used to it.
forever since you had a phone in your hand.
Yeah.
And so, but now I'm just, sometimes I forget to use Whisperflow. Now I'm using it. So
Same here, same here, same here.
yeah,
Uh,
it takes practice, just like everything. So it's like asking it to do when you're like, really, I could do that. And you could do that, but your brain, for some reason, or my brain specifically, reverted back to like, let me figure it out,
yeah,
let me
a
put the
hundred percent.
instruction.
Like I told you guys last week, I was doing what you were doing. I'm going in there, finding the file name, copy
Right?
pasting it wrong, and then I'm like, oh my God, what an idiot! I should have just asked it. And now I think about that first. But it's funny you mentioned the whisper flow. I still on my phone forget about that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
yes, when I'm outside and I don't want to be talking and other people can hear me, I revert, but I'm getting better at making it the default. Okay, what
Yes.
is the default most high leverage way of communicating or
Hmm.
doing whatever I have to do? So, like for instance, I've been trying to figure out how to automate some of the marketing stuff I do. And it's given me a lot of problems, like a lot of problems. The browser thing, oh my God. I've been dealing with the browser like
The
just
replay browser.
yeah, yeah. Have you
Oh,
have you
I'm not
played with
doing
that?
that. I was doing Google Chrome. Don't do it because that freaking thing breaks like within a day. So I was doing
Does it?
remote, yeah, I was doing remote access through Chrome.
Okay.
And because one day I tried to like go on my phone, that was
Uh,
not near my Mac Mini. And it gave me actually just the layout of like the TV when I originally downloaded my Mac Mini. I used my TV monitor.
uh-huh.
So the display was huge and it was just really buggy. So, and then it just stopped working, you
Same
know?
here. Same here.
Yeah.
So but my thing is, this is where like I know we're early, we're the tinkerers, we're the ones figuring out the hard stuff. But that's what I think the opportunity is, for me at
Yes.
least, right?
Yes.
Like the way I see it is if I can learn how to figure out the problems, then when I'm working with clients or even when I'm trying to build, like for instance, I'm trying to make an automation system for myself and others. So I need the browser. I can't, and I
Yeah,
keep telling
same.
it, they're like, I can do it other ways. I'm like, no, figure it out.
Yeah, no,
Because I
same. And
need
I
it.
think, what's really helping, I'm sure you've seen this, because I'm still a very heavy ChatGPT user, but I put, my thoughts in ChatGPT. ChatGPT cleans it up and then I put it into Telegram,
Sure.
and by the way, I called it Henry too because I thought it was cute. It's Henry, is what it is.
That's funny.
So my open claw bite is Henry. So I put it in Henry and it understands it better. And I tend to batch, so now I don't know if that helps with, I don't want it to go back and forth like a
Sure.
one-liner. I try to
Sure.
batch
Give a bunch of,
prompts,
yep, yep, yep.
because it's smart. It could get it, right? So
Yep.
um, but it's also more clear. Like it doesn't have to ask me questions and go back and forth with me anymore. I just,
That's
that's why
actually a
I use
good,
ChatGPT.
that's a good hack actually, because what
Yeah.
you're doing probably is
And I'm
you're,
lessening credits.
nah, yeah, there you go. Actually, I don't know though, because you're
Well, I
still
don't know.
using on the website, right?
Right, but
So
I'm not going back and forth with it, the more because then
that's
it's gonna
true.
ask
Actually,
me to
you're right.
clarify.
You're
It's gonna
right.
ask me to
You're right.
clarify.
You're right. So what you're doing is you're clearing up the prompt in ChatGPT. Then when you give it, it just knows exactly what to do. So that makes
Exactly.
a lot of sense actually.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's
So
really
that's
good.
one of the things that I was using. And the other thing, because it wiped out all my memory files when I was
Did it?
doing try to reload it. Yeah, man, everything that Henry was working on, it killed it. So I went back to good thing I was filtering everything that Henry was replying to me, that my open claw was replying to me. I put it in chat so it could like filter it and make it easier to understand, Not that I didn't
So you
understand
had
it,
the
but just
history of
wanted the
your
clarity.
Telegram chat
So
basically.
I had, yeah, from my Telegram, because my Telegram was down. So I had nothing. I had nothing to go by.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
went back to my chat and I just, how freaking hard it is to you can't even search in chat. So I went back and just got everything that I told Henry to do and everything that I had done already. And I just kind of copied it in a note and I'm going to put that to Henry again to say, do this, do that, the directives,
So I'm
basically.
gonna give you a thing that I've used. It's called Obsidian. Have you ever heard of this app?
Mm-hmm.
Obsidian. So
I
what
heard
I
of it,
do is
but
I tell it everything I tell you, also put it in Obsidian.
nice. Okay.
And what Obsidian is, it's the backup memory. So if ChatGPT or OpenClaw, whatever, I could always say, hey, look at the Obsidian, right?
Oh, good. I need to install that then.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
free open source app. You just download it, put it on your computer, and you tell it, do this. Every conversation we have, I have it make dashboards for it's kind of, it's like my mission control kind of. It's not as nice as
Right.
Alex's. I'm gonna make a mission control once I really have the
Mhm.
structure I wanted to use. But what it is a backup brain. That's how I see it. It's a
Okay.
it's a
Because
backup
I
file
have
brain.
my memory files, but it wiped everything. So I couldn't
And
even go back to
I,
the memory files.
yeah, and then there's a new thing actually I figured out. because they're updating like every day. So
Mm-hmm.
what I do now is I tell it at night at like 3 o'clock in the morning, check if there's an update on
True.
OpenClaw. Update, run a test to make sure it's working, and if it's not working, fix it.
Good.
So that because like literally I looked, I thought I updated, I was on the latest one,
You did like 2 days or 3 days ago. Now they had a
but
new update,
they
like I
had
think
like three
yesterday
updates since
or
then.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I can't keep track. So I was like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I'll just let it check on its own and update on its own. So that's a nice little, again, automation of something that you got to do, but it's just something that's not going to stay on top of your brain. So I just told it to do it, and it's like, yep, I'll do it at 3:30 a.m. every day, and that's it. So
You,
like things like that, I'm starting to think again, high leverage. Like, okay, what could I do? What can't I do enough of? So now basically I have it helping me make YouTube scripts.
yeah,
Because for me, my highest leverage thing I can do for any business I have is YouTube content. So
exactly.
the hardest part of making YouTube content is writing the scripts. So I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, let me make this my script writer, and every morning wake up with a script. All I gotta do is shoot it. I do use it's called Descript. It can edit video, but it's not great. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I'll do different types of video because they're saying now with AI, organic is working, right? The heavily edited people just want to see regular people. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna test both, and again, just more content means more eyes on whatever you're doing.
Absolutely.
And that to me is where I'm like, okay, I'm thinking at that level. What are the highest leverage things I need to do as a business owner? And how can I help me do those things? And
Correct.
and that's why the CMO is so important, because the CMO kind of has to help me figure out what is working already and then go forward. Like last week, we had a highest amount of leads from the content that I was creating. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what was it about last week's content that I can't really tell. It seems like it's the same stuff I always talk about,
Mm-hmm.
but something must have been different because we got more leads. So again, it has to assess everything I text post, everything I video wise. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's a good system to do that? Do I like download the videos, let it get the transcription? Again, I use this app called Metricool,
Yep.
Metrcool, and I schedule all the content through there. So then it sees all the data there, pulls it in. So yeah, and then of course, like the day to day of fixing this stuff, because I was in the same boat. I had Minimax working, and then I made an update, and it started giving me this timed out error. And I'm
Mm.
talking to it, and it keeps saying timed out. So I had to wait till I got in front of my computer again, into the front of the Mac Mini, and I say, "Hey, can you fix this?" Because you can't fix it if the Telegram is broken, right? That's
Right,
so.
right.
So I had to say, "Okay, can you check and figure out what's going on?" And I may actually just thought about this right now. Maybe do like a health check every 6 hours and see if
That's
everything's
yeah.
working right, and if not, fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically all I'm doing is asking it to do that. I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna do it anyway, right? I mean, I'll
Right.
never forget. Oh man, there goes my thing. I'll never forget when Alex was saying, this thing could do what any human could do. If a human could do it, OpenClaw could do it, and it's so true.
It's
You
true.
just have to give it a little bit more access to do a lot of stuff that
It's so true. And
needed to do it. But
I had a conversation today with like a high ranking person in the Bronx, actually. We're talking about workforce development, right? And I'm asking what kind of stuff they're doing. And I had to stop the whole conversation. Like, you're wasting money. Like, basically,
hmm
you need to teach people how to be entrepreneurs right now,
yeah,
because you're teaching people to find jobs that already I have probably have a thing that costs me $200 a month that probably is going to do better than them. And you're
hmm
you're you're spending all this money training people on stuff that's not going to exist. And this is scary. But again, I think I don't want to be like a negative Nancy, but I do see it as, if you're not paying attention, you're getting left already. I feel like it's already happening. Like, think about the conversation we're having right now. I
yeah.
can imagine an entrepreneur listening to us and being like, what the
What the
hell are
heck
they
are you
talking
talking?
about? Right?
It's true. Yeah,
And this is
yeah.
like 2 weeks only. Like imagine what we're
Exactly.
gonna
And
be
we've
talking
already
another
learned so
language.
much just, just by staying connected and doing this kind of talks and stuff, And, just one thing before I forget, for
Sure.
the Kanban board, what I
Okay.
did is I screenshotted Alex's
Mission
uh
control?
I did, man. I put it into OpenClaw into a Telegram and I said, do it like this. And in my Kanban board, it gave me the counter, it gave me this. And right when I was telling it, because you know how it gives you files, I was like, make folders, and that was my last thing, and then it broke. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you end
gonna
up using too
recreate it
many
all over again.
tokens, basically. What it did is probably what happened was that's a lot of code to create.
Probably.
The thing is, he has a lot of money because of all the stuff he's doing. So he's
Right.
probably spending thousands of dollars on
Oh
tokens.
yeah,
That's why he was like, it's better off for me buying these
the
ten
Mac
thousand dollar
Studio.
Mac Minis,
Mhm.
because again, if you're spending I know I saw people on there's a podcast I listened to. The guy said he's spending like $2,000 a day kind of thing on these tokens. And again, he's high level venture capitalist working on whatever the hell. So again, if it makes sense, it makes sense. But
Right.
if you code things, that eats up your tokens. So
Exactly.
you
So I'm not
gotta
gonna make
kind of
it
be
crazy, but what I did take that screenshot, and it did help.
no, that's amazing. That's a great see, that's what I'm saying. You're becoming a power user already. Like I didn't even think of that. But again, I wanted to make my own again, that's partly like my own little like fun. That's the fun I like to do.
Right, to
Right?
create it.
Create the
Right.
product. I love
Mhm.
that part of it. So for me, I have seen his and I'm like, I like that, but I would do it different. But what you did is fucking genius. You just take the screenshot, say, I want this. Just copy this.
Just
And
copy
it's
or
gonna
just go to different Kanban boards on, on image on Google, whatever, and just do images and then just pick whatever you like and then give it to it.
yeah, at
So
the end of the day, there's this website called Mobbin, where this is a genius idea. But basically what they do is they go to every website, every company, and they get a login and they take screenshots of every page on the company's product and their website. And then you look and you're like, oh, I really like that design. Let me use that, you know?
yeah.
And that
Yeah.
so it's a genius app because all they gotta do is open every app every month and just take screenshots. And I'm
That's
sure
crazy.
some Claude bot gonna do that soon.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, now it's about what's the highest leverage thing you can do to get more business, lower your overhead, and to me, the last step is how long till even our businesses are tough to keep going. I
Mhm.
think eventually you got to save up for some cleaning robots.
Yeah,
Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I thought about this last year.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah,
I even wrote a little blog article and I even put it in my little community that I was telling you about. Nobody responded to it, but now I bet everybody's looking at what I was saying. Because,
yeah.
that video that you showed me and stuff. I mean, I was like, yeah, the only thing is with that is that you're still going to need, I mean,
I think it'll be a
obviously the whole
person.
thing.
I think there'll be a person with the robot, and of course, it's not gonna be
Exactly.
good
That's what I
yet.
was saying. You're gonna need somebody to kind of, do it until they get so good that you don't need a person anymore.
So this is where, like, I think everything becomes that. Literally, I was watching this video about the great wealth transfer, and the
Hmm.
wealth transfer is they're saying there's a lot of baby boomers that are they want to retire, but the kids don't want the business, so they're doing seller financing for businesses because they're like, it's gonna go out of business anyway. I'm retiring. I'd rather you give me something for it better than me just walk away and get nothing. So I was like, okay, so what type of business would work for that, right? Like, what business would you want to buy right now? I hear accounting is gonna get taken by AI. So of course, electrician, plumber, but
I think anything
electric
with your hands you could still do
for a while. Who
for a
knows
while.
how long, right? So I looked up electrician, and you got to be an electrician to own an electrician company, right? You need a
Mhm.
master electrician. So I was
Right.
like, actually, that's a good moat. So I started looking into all of it, and I think I look at every business now, and I'm like, can you survive the next 20 years? And what I think about is because electrician, there is a moat of you got to be an electrician to own it, or you have to have an electrician partner. Plus, it takes time to become one. You can't just say, I'm be an electrician by next month. You
Oh
gotta,
no,
it
master
takes a
electricians
while.
take a while, at least a
Yeah.
year or like a year or so or
I,
more.
I saw it said like you gotta do a certain amount of hours. Like it could take 3 to 5 years to become a
A
master
master.
electrician, right? So and then I thought, okay, there's also what does AI need? Electricity, right? So it's like the demand for electricity is probably gonna go up. So I was just looking at that as like, okay, is that the type of business that you go in now, find somebody that's willing that wants to retire and say, okay, either partner with an electrician and go in on that, but then you're at the mercy of that electrician, right?
Hmm.
So again, it becomes like, what do we do in this future world? It's scary, but it's also exciting. I was also watching something today that said everybody just becomes an entrepreneur. That's what happens. There's unlimited problems to solve. It's just who wants to spend the compute on solving it. Like
Exactly. I mean, we all think differently, so
we're always
we
thinking
could
about
all
different
offer
problems.
something.
So like for me, I feel like I've spent millions of credit of tokens trying to figure out how to borrow off your crypto without being liquidated. And yes, somebody else can come along and try to figure that out too, and they will for sure. But that's the one I really want to learn that. But I want to learn that for myself because again, all this stuff
Hmm.
I'm looking at, I'm saying, what are you it's only the only two ways is you're either an employee or a boss. If there's
Hmm.
no boss, there's no more employees, all those people are going to be on government assistance or they have to own some type of asset. So if I could own some Bitcoin, Ethereum, and borrow off of it, I can keep it. That's kind of my goal. So whatever I do for money until that day, I'm going to try to stack as much as possible. So that's why it's really on. I'm building it for myself, really.
Right. You're
So
scratching your own itch, and I think that's what
exactly.
many people, this is how, businesses grow, right? Or get or created.
Yeah.
You
And
scratch your own itch.
you fight through the lows because it's like, I want this, right? When it's like
Right.
something that you don't really care about, you're gonna give up, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, talking back to what you were saying, that how scary it is because, we're all excited about it. I want to give everything to my Mac Mini right now, take over my business. But then, I have a power outage, then what happens? You know what I'm saying? So you
You're
always have
right.
to have a backup. I still have my VAs that are working. They know exactly how everything works because that's how they're doing it now, right?
Yep.
But you always got to be quick. Okay, and you also have like a kill switch, right? Because if some automation goes haywire, like for
Yeah, yep.
example, what I'm trying to set it up is that when a lead comes in asking for house cleaning, it's like, oh, I need house cleaning. That's all they tell you. I'm like, okay, like, you
Yeah.
know, so
Answer.
you have to kind of have a pull out information from them. And then let's say the AI will say something dumb. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm gonna script
Gotta
it
train it. Yeah,
and give
yeah.
it, train it and give it all that. But
Yep.
we'll have a kill switch, right? So that's already
Okay.
getting built in.
Nice. Nice.
Um, but also, have my VAs, looking over, how the automation is running. So it's kind of like having them look after my cleaning robot that I'll have, a year from now.
I thought you know what? Yeah, and you're right. You're right. So this is a funny ass story or idea, anecdote. You remember the Jetsons, that
Hmm.
cartoon, the Jetsons? So
What
what
Rosie cleans,
Oh
Rosie the
yeah,
robot,
Rosie.
that's a
Yeah,
contract.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So the funny thing is, one of these guys said it. He was like, "Do you remember what the main guy in that show did for work?" I didn't remember. He was like, all he did was press a button all day, and his finger would get swollen from pressing the button so much, and he would complain about having to press the button. And I was like, "That's what we're all becoming. We're becoming
We're
George
button
Jetson."
pushers.
We're the button pusher, agree, 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 right? And I was like, wow. But again, what are you pressing the button to fix or to do?
Exactly.
That's
Mhm.
the question. And that's where, like, I'll be honest, I'm scared for myself as well. I'm going so hard and trying to understand this. So I'm in the best position too. I don't think anything I have lasts for till I want to retire. If I ever want to retire, I don't really want to
Mhm.
retire. I want to work on stuff I enjoy working on. Cause
Yeah.
I like the other day my wife was taking her mom to the doctor and she was like, "This guy's so old that he doesn't even use a computer." And I'm like, that's awesome. Like he's basically he's still working, but he loves it, you know? And I'm like, that's what I want. I don't want to retire.
Exactly. I think we're all going to eventually want to go back and not do the whole, pushing the buttons because that's what we've been doing all our lives, right? Or half of our lives at least, depending how old you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but to have that simple life, like we are basically trying to make simplicity out of something that could be really
Complicated, yeah.
¿cómo se llama? Like not hard, but it's complex,
Complex.
right? To have
Mhm.
it make it simple so that we could live that simple life, but yet we're so much involved in the complexity of it, you know?
Yeah, and that's what people pay for, right? That's what they're saying. Like people will pay for the person who ate the complexity and made it simple for you,
Hmm.
right? So the question is like, what is that for whatever industry you're in? You got to think about it like that. Like, okay, what's the complex thing that nobody's gonna want to do? Let me spend the tokens, spend the time, be ahead of most people, and then they're just gonna use my product instead of figuring it out
Exactly.
themselves, right? And I don't know. Again, I will see. But what this guy said was in this podcast called Moonshots. I don't know if you ever come across that one, but he was saying that there's gonna be nobody's gonna have to work, but there's gonna be people who are so passionate about a problem that they're gonna do that, and they're gonna make money from doing it, but nobody's gonna have to. But again, these are like white rich venture capitalists, and they just see the world in a different way, right? They have benefited from being rich and white men, right? So,
Privileged.
yeah, they have the
Yeah.
privilege of thinking that. I'm like, I do not have no like I can't imagine they treat minorities, poor people the same way they're gonna treat them, right? I just can't imagine. They're like, okay, we're all equal now. You
Right.
guys are same as us, and we're all gonna just live
But
happy.
you know what? Open Claw doesn't care your color, your race, your nothing.
Agreed, agreed. But my worry is it eats up all the work, and then it's like, okay, some of us benefited. We all got family members that are gonna be like, hey, Cecilia, can you lend me some money?
No, it's true. It happens now. You know what I'm saying? That's just in every family, right? That's how it
Yeah,
goes.
and it's like, what do you do when half society is not doing this and they're just getting more and more left? And that was what I was telling this guy today about, what are we doing here? You don't realize it, but you're training these people to be on the wrong side of this. You
The
know,
learning gap has been it has been so wide now in the past 2 weeks,
and they
because
think about the how much this is going. They're saying this is like COVID, the exponential rate of growth.
right.
So think
And
about it.
so is the learning gap for it because, this is why it's good that you come in at such a point because, the more it develops, it might get faster. Okay, probably they don't have to go through what we just went through these couple of days. But at the
We're
same time, there's always going to be something new that, it's like you have to know the foundation, how everything is built in order for that you could think of new ideas how to make it better,
a
right? But
hundred
if you could
percent.
come in and it's already developed for you, kind of give it to you in a silver platter, you're not really learning, but you're going to pay for it. So you're going to spend money for that. And that's where you and I come in,
A
and everybody else
hundred
in this group
percent. Like I
comes
need
in.
somebody who knows how to do this, who dealt with this bullshit. I don't want to deal with it anymore. How many
Exactly.
people are there that know that? Not that many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
kind of
and
glad I did what I did yesterday with chat because now I learned, a couple
yeah,
of things.
yeah. I mean, you're doing good. Like you're like right here with
And I
me.
knew
Like
nothing before you and I had that conversation. I mean, I went into your call that Thursday, just like because I haven't been in your call in so long, and I was, let me see what he's up to. And then we all of a sudden we started talking about OpenClaw and or Claudebot at that point, because
Claude Bot,
Blake had
right?
actually just read that article on Moltbot that it was just kind of taking your own,
Did he? Wow, that's
traffic. He
interesting.
read
So
it
he's
just
on it.
that morning, but I had no idea. It didn't even stake to me that we were going to talk about it that day,
Props to
that
Blake
night.
though. He's on top of it because
He was
nobody's
a
paying
pilot. Yeah, he
attention.
was like, Sis, have you heard about this? I'm like, what? And, but again, and so I started literally that night that you and I started talking. I mean, I asked you all these questions because I had no idea. What do you mean by this? What does this mean? What does that mean? Like, yeah, ¿qué es eso? Like I still don't know a couple of things. And you probably laugh when I text you certain
No,
things. Like,
no,
what you
no.
talking
At the
about?
end of the day, like you helped me today. Think about that, right? Like I didn't even know about the thing you said, right? And I
Hmm.
was like, oh shit, I'm gonna try that right now. And it worked. I was like, holy shit. See, but that's
Awesome.
why this is what I think actually, this is actually a good point that I'm glad you kind of made me remember. The business model of the future is communities.
Yeah,
Because
true.
again, right, we're all trying to figure shit out. And what's better, one person trying to figure it out or a group of people trying to figure it out and giving each other the learnings?
I mean, it's human nature, right? We don't live in an island. As humans, we can't, we
We're,
can't
we're
do that.
built we're built for the
We're
community,
built for the community.
but
Yeah.
look at you're miles away. You live in a whole nother state, right? Like so, but the fact that we can do this online, and again, I met you through Eric, right? So we are like there's this thing called the network state. Look that up.
Mhm.
It's basically this idea of there's going to become communities that kind of create their own economies and
Mm,
currencies and all that. And it doesn't matter if you're the same ethnicity, race, whatever it is. It's going to be based on interest. So it could be we're all interested in OpenClaw. We create a network state about OpenClaw. We're all
mhm,
interested in Bitcoin. We create a network state around Bitcoin.
mhm.
Because again, most of our friends and family, they're not into the exact same things we're into. So most of the time you have to find your tribe, right? And now online gives us the ability to do that. But next step is also everybody to make money together in that interest. And
Mhm.
that I think has legs because I think it never goes away where we want to interact with people, have friends, have conversation, and solve problems. I can't imagine there's a point in history where we've solved every problem. That to me, I can't. Again, maybe I'm wrong. I hope, but I doubt it. To me, till we know what everything is in the universe is, there's a problem. And
There's an opportunity for it. There's an
yes,
opportunity because there's always a problem. And
there's
the
always
thing is
something.
like, we reinvent the wheel, right? And then sometimes reinventing the wheel, leads us to new ideas, I hope, right? But now with OpenClaw, I think it just takes you exponentially to another level
Yeah.
of
It
that.
really makes almost anything possible because you know what I saw this other thing. They were like, what makes Elon different than us? Yeah, he might be a little bit smarter than us, but he's not 1,000 IQ points smarter than us, right? He's probably at the highest level 20, 30, 40 IQ points higher. He gets 1,000 PhDs to work for him. That's the difference,
That's the difference, right? And
right?
he's got the same 24 hours in a day.
Exactly. The reason he gets 1,000 PhDs is because he raises billions of dollars to pay them. Now we have ChatGPT and credits. So if you just have a way of paying the credits, you can have as many PhDs as Elon Musk.
Hmm.
Now, though, this is where, okay, what are you going to point that power at to get the revenue to cover those PhDs cost? And
Right.
that's the challenge. To me, that's the biggest challenge because there's different types of business models, right? So your business model, I had to hire cleaning when I had Airbnb, so I know it, right? People pay per cleaning, right? So
Hmm.
you have a amount you pay, so you charge more than you have to pay the cleaner, so you make money.
Hmm.
Then there's software where it's like if you make a software that costs $10 a month, you need 1,000 people to make $10,000 a month. If there's software that costs $50 a month, you need 1,000 to get to 50,000. So what is that variable for you? I have friends, they're creating t-shirt line. Okay, what's your t-shirt? How much you pay for it? Oh, you're making $10 a t-shirt. How much do you want to make a month? Ten thousand
Hmm.
dollars a month. Okay, so you realize you gotta sell 1,000 new t-shirts every month.
Hmm.
Oh, I never really thought about it like
You
that.
got to reverse the math, reverse the math.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
now that's the real question. What is the math on? Because you don't need millions of dollars a month to live a very good life, but you
No,
do need to understand how much you need to sell every month to cover whatever your cost
the
is.
cost,
And the
exactly.
cost is coming down. And because what is the
Yeah,
highest cost of every business? People.
exactly. Yeah.
but it's not
That's
even
true.
close,
That is
right?
true.
Like it dwarfs everything else.
Yeah.
So now if you can say, okay, I don't need 10 people, I need three.
Hmm.
That changes your monthly need
Forget it.
a
Yeah.
ridiculous amount, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now
Or you're
I,
supercharging your
your profits.
business and that money's coming in to filter back to this.
Unless you say, you know what, I got so much money, let me find a Cecilia that can help me come in here with open claw and make it even better. Again, but again, I told this guy this today. I said, you can't even compete with a person that understands this stuff. Think about you going in for, I know you're an entrepreneur, so you wouldn't do this, but imagine you going in for a job interview and another person coming in for a job interview and they don't understand any of this.
Oh, forget
They
it.
don't have
Yeah.
a fucking shot in hell. like,
No,
like it's like
no, no, no.
I come in with 10 people with me, and I'm like, so this is where I just see it. I'm excited, but I'm scared at the same time. I try to
I
tell my
think
kids,
even, I'm sorry, go ahead.
they no, no, yeah,
I said, I think even if you're not using it as we're using it, right? If you're not even an entrepreneur, you're just here to hang out, and you just want to use it for your personal needs, to book a travel thing for you, to manage your schedule, to manage. I mean, even something simple, just learn it. Learn it, invest the time to learn it because that makes you, like you said, hireable, right?
much
But
more
then also it will open the opportunity for you to create something that you wanted to create in your life and that you
that you
didn't know
never
how,
probably were gonna be able to
that you
create.
probably even think that you knew that you liked.
We had a discussion today with my team at Stack because what we've been thinking is this is where it's going. We're gonna have AI agents that pay things for us, that manage our expenses for our
Mhm.
personal businesses. So we were like, we should probably make our own version of OpenClaw that people can run that helps them manage their expenses. That's separate from anything else. So there's because
So,
the VPS stuff, right?
yeah.
So what we're thinking about is creating a VPS thing where we do go in and protect all of the security issues, right? Because if you know what you're doing, you can protect the security issues. But when you just run it, you're not doing that, right? So that's why they're so insecure. But something weird happened this week where I was like, did this happen because of OpenClaw? So I get a phone call at like 9 o'clock at night and it says Google.
Mhm.
So I'm like, Google. But you know what I thought it was? You know how when you have a business and they're trying to get you to use
Yeah, your Google
apps?
business profile.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like, why are you calling me at 9 o'clock about this? And then it called again. I was like, what the fuck? So I pick up and they were like, someone just tried to hack into your email. Is your phone number this, and that on your
Oh,
email
Lord.
account? And I was like, no. So it was like, okay, you may want to fix that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going in, and they're like, okay, so all you have to do is press the button. So you know how when you try to log in from another
Mm-hmm.
computer and it makes you open your phone?
Yep,
You
yep.
press
Your
it.
YouTube
So
now.
he's like, all you gotta do is press this button and we'll fix it. And
Hmm.
I'm like, Google's calling me and they're making me press this button. I'm like, what's your name? So he tells
Mm-hmm.
me the name and I look up the phone number, scam. And I was like,
Wow.
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 If I would have pressed that button, I would have gave him access to my whole shit, right? And this was my mass ideation company, not my stack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I caught it. But I don't
Not
know
many people would.
yeah, I don't know if many people would have, right? And what would have happened was he would have took control of that email, which has a lot of my stuff in it because it's my oldest business, and he could have just wrecked shop, right? And lucky I caught it before I pressed it because I'm like, this doesn't seem right. When the hell has Google ever called you? Except that Maps thing, right? And the Google
Mm-hmm.
profile. So I looked it up really quickly because I was in front of my computer and Reddit was like, that's scam. Google will never call you about this. And I was like, I know better. What the hell am I doing talking to this person? He called me late night. I'm tired. And I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking, could that have happened because of Was there something? Because this
The
never happened
leak.
before,
Right.
right?
Something
And
leak.
again, I'm
Yeah.
like, how the hell did he get? Because he knew my name, he knew my phone number, but he
Hmm.
couldn't access my email until I pressed that button. So I was
Crazy.
like, is there some security thing that I just allowed access to? But the only reason I'm like it couldn't be that is because I would have thought he would have went after other email addresses, not Mass Ideation.
Not
I
that
don't
one.
really use that anymore. It does have stuff on it, but nowhere near my newer business, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, maybe not, but it's weird. And I heard
Wow.
another story of this guy, and this was I just saw this week, so I don't know if you did this already, but
Mhm.
he was like, I put my credit card in OpenClaw, and it got somebody tried to use it.
Get out.
And he's like, I don't know.
That OpenAI?
No, he don't know. You know how when somebody compromises your card and tries to make
Yeah, yeah.
purchases?
Mhm.
He was like, I don't know. It could have happened for somewhere else, but it is weird
The other
that I
side, when you did that, that happened.
so
Yeah.
I heard that and then I saw that and I'm like, damn, is there some security shit here that I need to pay more attention to? So that put me down. I told OpenClaw, hey, anything well, I told Codex, is
Mhm.
there anything you can do to secure this even more? It did a few things. I don't even know what it did to be honest. but
Right. I don't-
but
Just do it. Just do it.
just do it. But that is a fear. So fair warning right there. Don't
Totally.
go too crazy. And definitely if that ever happens, Google is not calling you to protect you, you know?
Mhm.
But that was pretty close. I like almost pressed it. I'm like, hold up.
That's insane. That's insane. I'm sorry, this brings me, you mentioned Codex. So what I've noticed with Codex is that it always asks me to approve. Do you want me to check this? Do you want me to check that? Is there a way to just have it do it without?
So the second option is
Uh-huh.
is an option that says I'll keep doing this on my own if you allow it, right? So there's a main
Oh, I
option
did.
that's
That's what I did.
and it's still
The first one
yeah
says yes, and the second one says yes, but with this. And I'm like, I
yes
pressed that one and it keeps on asking. So I don't know if that's a
yeah that I haven't figured out how to get around that. There's only one thing I've heard of that gets around that, and it's called the Ralph Wiggum plugin. Have you heard of this?
no,
Ralph
no.
Wiggum is a Simpsons character. I don't know. They just named it after
That's
him.
funny.
Yeah, but basically it works when you give it a large prompt and it says do this exactly, and it'll go for hours, sometimes
Oh, wow.
days
So it
doing
just
that,
doesn't ask you.
and
And
it
that's what
does.
I was afraid of because if you ask if something complex, you have to be in front of your computer. But okay, wasting time.
But it only really works if you give it a like a super long
Mhm.
complex prompt and says do all this and don't ask me, and that's what the
Mhm.
Ralph Wiggum plugin basically says. Yes, it keeps saying yes, okay, do it, do it, do it. So I
I see.
haven't seen it work with what the stuff we do because like you said it's a little bit ad hoc where we're
Mhm.
asking specific things and it doesn't know when it's done. So it's kind of asking, then it says, okay, did I do that right? Did you need anything else? So I don't know. I'm sure we'll get there. That's the whole Jetsons button thing again. But I don't know. I don't think it's there. I'm trying to get it to do shit on the Telegram like that because,
Mhm.
for instance, whenever something's broken and now Claude doesn't work. Actually, let me see something. Because I was trying to today. I got an error like while I was out with the kids, and I was like, "Can you try to fix that in Claude?" And it said Claude was not working on the
And
Mac.
that's another thing. I don't know if this happened to you, but what I've noticed is when I try to go back to OpenAI after I install Kimi, it put me back, no matter what I was doing, put me back to Anthropic. And it was always just directing me to Anthropic. I'm like, I didn't set OpenClaw to Anthropic. And that's why my Henry wasn't working.
Did you have you had an API key?
I don't even have a like Claude. I mean, I think with you, I might have opened an account, but I never used it really. And it just kept on, OpenClaw kept on going, pointing to Anthropic.
You know what's funny? You say that I set it up in the beginning with Anthropic. Remember I told you I was gonna test it.
Yeah. Hmm.
So what I ended up doing was I changed to Minimax, but
Right.
I kept seeing that the fees were going up in Anthropic. And I'm like, do
Right.
you have Anthropic on? They were like, no, no. And I'm like, yo, I see the fee keep charging me. So I like because you can like revoke the API key so it can't be
Right. To
used.
take it out.
So I did that. Like not no, because I thought it says it's taken out, but something's still charging me. And what it
That's
could
crazy.
be is, again, when you put it in these chats, they could possibly take it and use it. Because again, when you put it in through these
Oh.
systems, they
Mhm.
get that, you know? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna block that API key and hopefully that must stop it because there's no
Yeah, I
way.
mean, Codex figured it out for me that it was like, yeah, it's still. I'm like, what Anthropic? I didn't even, never even selected that. Like, even when I just started with OpenClaw, I went directly to OpenAI, never to Anthropic. So I don't know how it switched me to Anthropic all by itself, and that's what screwed up everything.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. You had no API credit, so as
That's
soon as
right,
you
because
said,
I
yeah,
exactly, and
yeah,
then it
yeah,
was saying you have, but I'm like, anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So I was
it,
able to log in myself, but they must have a way to know when Telegram is calling it. And again, this is not a problem for Codex, which Codex Claude is so fucking dumb, but whatever. Codex is taking the opportunity to lean into this viral moment.
Mhm.
Codex is, I don't know, understand why you would do it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's where like I kept my Codex plan. I ain't keeping my Claude plan, and most people are gonna do that because this shit is going crazy. And imagine having to pay API credits. I told you I was spending $15 a day,
But
and
that's the
then
thing. Like I'm scared about, because I did it through OpenAI. I gave it, just like $50, whatever. But like I'm
oh, so
scared.
you didn't do what you sent me this morning?
I didn't, not yet. No, I didn't.
Do it, yeah, yeah. Tell Codex
I'm
to
gonna
do it.
do it. The reason why I didn't is because I actually wanted to como se, I had nothing. I had no open
Oh, you
Claude, I had
couldn't even
nothing.
get, yeah, got you, got you, got you.
So
You
now that
couldn't
I
even
think
get it
about it, I can do
started.
it.
Got it.
Right,
So this
exactly.
will this will get you started. Like it will basically be the brain and the execution, which I is ideal. It's the smartest one. I just thought it was going to be more expensive, but the fact they did the genius move of letting you use your login, what it's going to be is everybody's going to just move to a $200 plan. Like you're gonna
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. I mean, that's what I'm probably gonna do too, end up doing too,
yeah,
because
because
why
if it
not?
starts really doing this work for you, I know you pay your virtual assistants more than 200 a
Of
month, man.
course, yeah. I
So,
mean, and what I'm having to do is not that complex, it's stuff that I could do on my own with like Zapier and, spend 10 million hours to do it
yeah.
because it's possible. So I don't think that for me, my case necessarily, until I start building my actual CRM system that I want to eventually do, because that's my goal,
Hmm.
that's when it's really going to rack up. But what it's doing, like just a use case, so that a lead comes in, somebody calls in or texts in, and immediately we acknowledge that call or text.
Yep.
And then that
Wait,
conversation that we
somebody
have.
who speaks to the person?
So either me or my VA, whoever answers the
Oh, okay.
phone.
So there's a phone
It's
number.
most likely my VA. It's still, I
Okay,
don't
okay.
have, I don't have voice yet, which
No, but that's
that's
fine.
another
I
thing
think
I'm
I
gonna
think
do.
that's worth paying for right now. But I did see. Did you see 11 Labs? Did
Not
I?
yet, not yet.
So 11 Labs, they just. I'll find it, but keep talking. I'll find it and
Okay.
I'll show you.
So yeah, because I mean, eventually I did have a voice AI that I was using, this girl developer for me, but then she got
Oh,
really
you
sick,
told
so
me. You
she
told me
stopped
about
it.
that.
But
Yeah.
my people also, the clients were not ready for it.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
They gave it like a one-line answer. So I just like, look, I'm paying for this. Let me just take it out. But I think now with this, a lot more people are going to be more comfortable with it. So the timing wasn't right. I think it was too early, right?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It was.
Because
It still sounded very
I did it
robotic.
last year. I had my voice AI last year that I
Wow.
could
Wow.
actually
That's very
quote,
early.
like it sounded dope. I have a recording. I could send it to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so somebody calls in, we talk to them on the phone, we get all the information. I put that information in Slack in my leads channel. All that information goes there. That information, then I created like a worksheet, work on Google Worksheet.
Okay.
I'll put all their name, their phone number, the layout of the house, everything in columns, what they need, etc. Because that becomes my follow-up system. Like
You have information to follow
yeah,
up
I
with.
have the information to follow up. So then my VA would do the follow-up. And then eventually it closes or it doesn't close. If it doesn't close, it would go to a re-engagement, which I haven't done yet because again, everything was manual, right? So
Yep.
I'm going to automate all that process. A lead comes in, the AI will answer the text. not yet the voice, but let's say the text, or even if we put it, let's say my VA answers the phone, puts the conversation in Slack, then the automation will start. The automation will take that information, put it in the worksheet, or eventually create a dashboard. That's what we want. But put it in the worksheet and then start the automation of the follow-up. If
Yeah,
it
you're
doesn't
gonna
follow
you're gonna
up,
basically make a mission control of your business. Like, okay, lead came in, you'll see it,
exactly, you'll see
process.
everything. And it's already architect. I already have it all set up. It's just I need now. I just got Henry back like before our call. So
Yeah,
I
all
have
right,
to,
that's
I'm
awesome.
making I'm introducing myself again. I did a whole brain dump. I'm actually happy this all happened because it lost everything.
So you
But it
started
was
over.
becoming a little bit too complex
Okay.
because I think and like OpenClaw didn't know that I'm not an architect. Like this is not like a whole production thing. You know what I'm saying? It's very
Sure.
simple. The automation is very simple. So it was making it a little bit too complex to create and
Sure.
taking longer than it should. So that's why I'm kind of happy I had this big reset because now I cleaned up my intro. Man, my intro is dope. Like really like very like you know what I'm saying? Like just very like everything about me, like so it could know to be proactive and how to work with me, what I expect from it.
Nice,
And then I
nice.
have all these other prompts, with the help of ChatGPT that's all nicely organized. It's not just BS, it's just really nicely organized and already architect. Because remember, I was doing this, trying to create my AI agents before all this happened.
You're right. You did the rosy stuff. You
Remember?
did, yeah, yeah. You had a
I
bunch of
I
different
was already
things.
doing the roles for the GPT, so I have a
Yeah.
lot of stuff already done. So I'm like, I'm not starting from level one, I'm starting from level five.
That's true.
All I
You
need to
you
get
you
is like
forget that. You forget that. Like, right, you jumped into OpenClaw, but you weren't a newbie. You went through
no,
processes. So there is even that work that you did before all this went. And
exactly.
that's why it's so important to be on top of all this stuff, right? And because imagine if you were starting from scratch at this moment. You
Imagine how much tokens I'll be using right now.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that this is why it's like just to give a advice, you know what I'm saying? If there's a lot of things that you could still do on your own, or the stuff that you already have, like if you already wrote a workflow from back in the day, or you already wrote,
SOP,
your
yup, all that.
SOPs, whatever, now you get, OpenClaw to update it for you. So now all my SOPs they're all with manual VAs, like all the instructions for my VAs. Now it's going to be rewritten for the instructions for the agent.
And what
You
I
know,
would do is again backwards. Say, okay, if you had to automate this entire process, how would you do it?
That's a great
See
question.
what the
Yeah, like
hell it
reverse
does.
engineer. Yeah,
And see it, be like, I would do this time. You're like, that sounds awesome. Do it. Let's see. And if it does,
exactly.
it does.
Because again, we're stuck in thinking how we do it, right? And now
Exactly.
we're
There's probably a
using it,
smarter way.
we're giving
Exactly.
it directions of how they should do it because we know how to do it or we think we know. And then that it doesn't give OpenClaw the
Because again, like this is something that happened to me when I was building the video thing. I didn't even know about certain APIs that existed. I just out of nowhere I asked, how can we do news? And that was a reverse prompt, me not even understanding that.
uh-huh.
And it was like, because I thought it would basically go read Twitter or something. It was like, oh, we can use an API for this and it will pull in the latest news. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Okay, do it. And again,
Right.
I would have never told it that because I had no idea that was possible, you know? But it,
Exactly.
it came up with it and it was awesome. So let me show you this. Let me know if you can hear this.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
No. If he's talking, I can't. Airline. There you go.
No? You can hear it?
Yeah, yeah, I could.
Okay.
Today. Jennifer, my flight just got canceled and I'm stuck here in Orlando. At this rate, I'm going to be missing my daughter's birthday. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I hear you. And I'm
Hmm.
so sorry about that. Let's figure out what's going on, okay? Could you please tell me which flight this was? Yeah, this was flight MD412. Great, thanks. Okay, just pulling that up now. Okay, yeah, I see it. 3 cancellations on one trip. Yeah, that's not the experience you should be having. I'm gonna fix this, okay?
I don't want to play the whole thing, but that's
It's
it.
dope.
That's all AI. That's
Yes, that's
insane.
dope. You see, mine sounded good, but that's more expressive. Mine was
Yeah,
actually getting very expressive, which was really funny.
it was
But
too
this
expressive.
one,
It
It
was
was not too expressive, but it was like it was silent. Oh wow, like that's so bad to hear that you didn't have a good experience with your previous cleaner. Let me see how we can help. Like it was really good, Miguel. Like
wow.
I
That's
wish I
pretty
could, and
sounds
I
good.
don't know if she used 11 Labs or not because again, I didn't know.
No,
You
this
know,
is
again,
pretty
now I
new.
could do this myself, you know?
Yeah, yep, 100%. I wonder what she was using because 11 Labs just came out. This is like how old? Like 9 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's pretty new, but maybe there must have been some other system. She probably was paying because what happened was early on companies trained to do call center kind of AIs.
Mhm.
And probably what that woman did was she bought a package and then resold the package to multiple people. That makes the most
Probably.
sense.
Kind of like what is that called? What Go High Level was doing? The
It was
white.
Go High Level. Go High Level's using that too. Weren't you
Yeah.
using it to Go High Level or no?
Yeah, now like I started like I had used Go High Level a long time ago when it was under somebody else, but the automations were so bad, like they couldn't even figure it out what I wanted. I just like, look, I'll build this myself.
Wow, wow, wow. See, but that's the thing, right? Those companies now, they're
But who
kind
knows?
of
Go High
screwed.
Level might be dope now. It's been like a year, you
So
know?
I did watch stuff on Go High Level, but now like you're saying, I don't know. I think I'd rather have a Claude bot than a Go High
Me
Level
too. That's what I'm
system, man.
saying. I like, again, to me personally, I like to figure stuff out and create stuff for me to scratch my own itch. You know, if that's going to help somebody
100%.
else, but I want to make sure like it works perfect. You know, I don't know if you heard Alex say when people were asking like, "Oh, could you share your Kanban board?" And he's like, "No, I'm not too sure about it yet. You know, let me perfect it and then I could share it." Same thing. Like I want to
Yeah,
perfect what
yeah.
I'm doing so that I could teach it or I could share it, you
Same
know.
here, same here. Like that's part of what I'm trying to build stuff for myself. Like you said, scratching my own itch of things I think I need for different ideas for different businesses I have. I have a nonprofit, I have a for-profit, I have a fintech. I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna make Navo more for other people to use. That's more of a fun thing. Right now, I am using it for myself. But one of the things I did was, have you ever heard of Opus Clip? You ever hear that?
No.
Opus Clip is an app that you you take long form video and it chops it up for social media. So I
Oh,
put
nice.
all my videos that go out now in social media, the short ones, they come from Opus Clip. But there was a limitation on Opus Clip where when Opus Clip schedules it, I can't see it in my data. So I was like, all right, can I make my app schedule it then? Opus Clip will chop it, then it'll pull it down and I'll make my app. So I did that. Then I'm like, can I do what Opus Clip does? So it was like, yes, you can. It's just going to be very extensive. Maybe not make sense right now for you to do that, but yes, we can eventually even do that. So it just takes me to the point where I'm like, almost every app is going to be able to be remade in your own way of
Yeah,
that you
just
want.
remake it. Yeah.
So that's
So
that's
those who
another
are already
scary thing.
ahead, yeah, those who already have an app and they're already ahead of the game, you know, because they already have something that they can make better.
And
Where
think
for
about you, what
me,
what you just said. I want to make this app. Before that would have took you tens of thousands, months and months and months to get
hmm
that right. Now it's gonna be a side project. You do it whenever you want, and eventually it'll be perfect to
exactly.
your exact standards. You don't gotta feel bad about bothering the developer at 12 o'clock at night on a Saturday because something's not working. This is where it all goes. It's really exciting, man. It's really exciting,
It
but I
is.
do worry at the same time. I'm like balancing these two thoughts. Like, fuck, I'm worried for myself and worried for others, but I'm also excited. And I'm like, I just want to do more and more and more. So now I'm starting to figure out, okay, you got to stop being ADD and doing 1,000 things. Stick to
Yes.
what
Yes.
is going to be the most high leverage for your businesses. And then
Focus.
the fun stuff comes after that. Stop
Exactly,
those three
focus. Yeah,
days.
I know because it leads you to the rabbit hole of like, oh, and you could create this and this you could create. And kind of like when, you know, when you're talking with chat's like, you want me to do that? Oh, I could do
Yeah,
that. And then
yeah,
all of a
exactly.
sudden
It
you're
keeps
like,
that. It keeps that.
man, where's the actual thing I asked you for? You know, it's there, it's buried. Now you
And
can't go
and to
back to
be
it.
to be honest, I'll wake up some days and I'm like, I can't even remember all the stuff I told you to do. Can you tell me like some of the stuff?
Exactly, exactly. Or pull it. That's another thing. Maybe this is something you could create or anybody could create, but to have like there's no way to search in your chats, like through ChatGPT, right? Could you
Uh,
create something to actually create a search
there.
or like
There is on the top.
Is there really?
On the top. Let me see if I pull it up
Let
real
me
quick.
see, because man, I must
Look,
have missed it completely. But
can you see my screen? No, I'm not sharing my screen right
oh,
now.
you share your screen? Yeah, let me see. I was just gonna open mine.
So you
Yeah.
see right here,
Let me see that.
yeah,
Was this
yeah, yeah.
new? Get out. Wait, this wasn't there. Hold on.
It's pretty new, maybe a
Okay.
couple months.
I wonder if it's the $200 package. Hold on.
Oh no,
Oh
no, this
no, it's
no, this
not.
is
It's
twenty
not. It's
dollar one. Yeah.
there. This is new. This is new. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
but to your point though, your overall point, they're doing something called vector embeddings now, and what that means is, so when AI and search in general, like Google, they'll look for the exact word. So, like, let's say you're searching cleaning North Bergen, New Jersey. They look for those specific words. But vector embedding says, okay, North Bergen is also close to Bergen, whatever, right?
Hmm.
So maybe I'll show Bergen as well. So it knows the external possible connections as well, not just the exact words. So
Hmm.
now because we're using the ChatGPT one, it does that. Where Minimax didn't do that. I don't think Anthropic did it either. But
Hmm.
now ChatGPT is doing it within so our
The
memory and our
environment.
files are even better now because it's like, yeah, what did I tell you to do about this specific name project? It can still find other stuff around it.
Hmm.
And that's just, it's gonna be crazy. Like the big thing I think is the moat of all this is having a memory, having like
Yes.
a
Yeah.
context window. That's why Obsidian I think is important.
So let me see. Could you put a link in the chat?
Yeah, yeah. I'll open it up too. Uh,
Obsidian. Okay.
ah, okay, it's not .com. Leave it .org. Nope. Let's just search it for ChatGPT. Obsidian. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong.
Obsidian software. There you go.
No, Obsidian.md. Wow.
Oh, okay.
MD is markdown files. So
Ah, okay.
that's what a lot of these like the soul file and all these files
So this
on
is an
Opera.
external memory, so it's not part of your chat workspace because that's what happened. I had all the memory files in the chat workspace.
So
Yeah,
you
I
double it.
oh,
You make it have it
open.
on the chat, but you also have it here. So if the chat
Okay.
ever disappears, like what happened to you, you still have the old version.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Okay.
basically makes files. I had this thing, I use it on another computer. I had this thing where I could record my meetings and then it puts the meeting transcripts in my Obsidian. So then I could search all the notes of everything I'm doing, right? So there's all
So
kind of stuff you could do with this. There's
dope.
people that use this for health, right? They'll put their medical records because it's all local, like it's on your
Oh.
computers, right? They'll put their medical records, their blood tests, their sleep data, if you're wearing those things
Mm-hmm.
that your anything, and then it puts it all in here, and then ChatGPT looks and it says, "How are you feeling today?" They put how much what they're eating. There's people doing all kind of crazy stuff with Obsidian. So that's how I found out about it. And I'm like, this could be the brain, the backup brain.
The
So that's
backup
when I
brain. Yeah.
started playing around with that. So I have
Because I
one of
did
my
do
minis.
the I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. I said I have one of my
As
minis
in,
in there.
I did the second brain, the prompt that Alex gave. So I did that. But
What? I
again,
don't remember that
that's
one. What was that one? What did he say?
the second brain is basically a place where it would remember, it will store everything that you talked about. Let's say if you had ideas, and it'll create just folders for ideas. If you talked about your conversations about certain things, it will store it on like a folder level. It's pretty
So
cool.
the difference between what he said and what I said is I have it on Obsidian. And Obsidian is actually, let me just show you a little bit of Obsidian how it looks.
Did you do the quick start or did you just do the, I'm gonna do the quick start.
And you're doing the update right
Obsidian.
now?
Well, I just installed it. I'm
Yeah, so
installing
you're
it.
supposed to press quick start.
Okay.
Then don't press anything else. Go to Codex and give it the full instruction. I'll text you what I sent and say, can you make sure this is working? And
Okay.
that's pretty much what I did. I basically sent this. I copy pasted that. After I did what you just did, I pressed quick start, then I did this and it fixed it.
Where is it? Where did you send it?
I texted to you.
Oh, you texted. Okay, thanks. Okay, let me go here.
And yeah, I mean, Jeff, I know you still we're figuring it out, but the VPS thing, we're gonna work on a way to get people because it's funny. I'm posting all about crazy stuff, and I get this person who's she's actually a sitting like official. Like she's actually like a person in office. She's like, I've been watching your stuff. I need to make an agent for my life. And I'm like, wow, you're watching my tweets? She's like, yeah, I read all your tweets. I want you to help me set this up. So you just like people just don't know it's possible. And again, content. I never would have thought she was watching my stuff, but now she may be a person that I help set this up, you know? And the way this works is each person is going to be is personalized, right? Like so everybody just has to figure out what we're figuring out. And eventually, I think everybody will get there, but in the beginning they're going to need hand holding. And I think that's going to be a big business opportunity actually. Even the video you sent me, that guy, that's what his business is. The guy
Mm-hmm.
is called God Mode, his company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I'm like, oh, you basically just sell that. And ever since, it's funny how social media works. Ever since I watched that video, now when I open Instagram, I just see people setting up OpenClaw video. They have videos helping people set up OpenClaw. Already, I'm like, man, this just happened in 2 weeks. People spun up businesses, helping people. But that's how it's gonna work. You gotta find the opportunity and go. Um, but let me run. I gotta buy food for my kids. But any questions? Any final
Sorry.
questions?
Miguel, that what you just texted me was the code for OpenClaw for OpenAI. Is that what you're talking about? Or you were
Yes.
going to send me about the Obsidian?
Oh, you wanted me to send you Obsidian? Send you Obsidian too then. What I was sending you because I thought you were updating your OpenClaw.
Oh no, I will. I will do that. Yeah, I have those codes too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sending you Obsidian right now.
Okay, perfect.
Um, yeah. So I sent that. Just tell it once you have your codex connected, your
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT, say I also want a copy of everything we're saving on my Obsidian. I want to keep the context in as many windows as possible to make sure it's easy to navigate. Because
Okay.
did I share my screen and show you how it looks? Hold on, let me see. So see video scripts, like I had been playing around by putting ideas in and basically
So,
see this life log thing.
yep, there's your
This is
recording.
recordings of the
Nice.
conversations and stuff.
So it will organize it for you and everything. You don't even have to
So there's specific
for
softwares
you.
and stuff. There's all people building for Obsidian as well. So it's
Uh-huh.
like a connection of OpenClaw and Obsidian world happening.
Okay.
So yeah, once you dive, that's another little rabbit hole, but it's a good because then you could take this and move it to another computer and start your OpenClaw. If anything happens, it's a backup of everything, you know?
Right, right. No, that's good. That's good. Because like I said, that like this happened yesterday, but to me it
Yep.
was a blessing. But to somebody who probably was further along and that happened, what happened to me? Olvídate.
Yep. Like I told you, I had a friend. He said I've had to reinstall this thing so many times, and that was kind of what made me say, you know what, I should figure out
Yeah,
a backup.
we need to do something, right?
Cool,
Cool. Well,
cool.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
man.
thank you. And yeah, let's keep it going. I'll keep learning. You keep learning. Let's keep
Yes,
sharing, and hopefully become billionaires.
that's right. That's what we're getting at. We're gonna look back at our Thursday meetings
I
and
know,
be
I know. I
like,
mean, remember
remember
when we
when?
first started OpenClaw? Yeah.
Oh, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Take
Exactly.
care,
My boss,
Miguel.
my boss is calling. All
That's
right.
right. Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.